What is up, everybody? My name is Logan Stroh, and welcome to CTF Stroh Talks Football. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys my Week 15 NFL predictions. There's a lot of really good games this week, so let's not waste any more time. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, turn on notification bells so you don't miss any of my videos whenever I post. With all out of the way, let's get started. So coming off of Week 14, I ended up with a 9-4 record, so now my total record is 137-73. My overall record looks pretty good, but I will say, this last week predicting, I was almost perfect with all the morning games. I only got one wrong. And then as soon as the afternoon games came around, my record tanked from last week. Like, it should have been probably 12-1 or something, not 9-4. Like, I know the math is wrong, but you know what I mean. So even though this is a good record, it kind of feels like a loss at the same time. So let's just improve next week. So the first game we've got is Thursday Night Football. We've got the LA Rams at the San Francisco 49ers. This one got a lot tougher and a lot more interesting just because at first I was just going to pick the Rams regardless just because of how much the Niners have been struggling. And then they played the Bears last week. Even though they're not a good team, they had some sparks that looked like the old Niners, like how the Niners usually play last year. So this one's going to be tough to pick. I hope I'm wrong on this. Even though it's at San Francisco, I'm still going to roll with the Rams, and they're going to win 33-26. I just think they have a better offense, and with how they played against the Bills especially, they had a lot of great offensive sparks, and even though their defense isn't really all that great, I feel like it's good enough to stop the Niners a couple times. I mean, they did it at LA, so I think they can do it here as well. So I kind of hope I'm wrong, but I'm going to roll with the Rams on this one. Next game we got is the Chiefs at the Browns. Hold up, let me pull out my usual Chiefs script for this one. Chiefs underplay competition? Check. Chiefs look like crap the whole game? Check. The Browns look good and they keep this game close? Check. The Browns get screwed by the refs? Check. And the Chiefs win barely by just a little bit of a score, but they should have lost? Check. It's the same thing with this team, every single week, man. I don't know how much I have to say it. The Chiefs just never look good in the regular season, but they will still do good enough in the playoffs to even make the damn Super Bowl, man. It's frustrating, but we just got to get used to it at this point. I'm sorry, Cleveland. Even though you might deserve the W this week, you're not going to get it because it's the Chiefs. Next game we got is the Bengals at the Titans, and I think the Bengals are going to steamroll this team 33-13. The Bengals very much have to fight for a playoff spot at this point, and the Titans are basically out of it. They're eliminated. So for that reason, I could see the Titans putting up a fight to try to screw the Bengals over, but at the same time, I just think the Bengals offense is too good. Even though the Bengals defense is terrible, I just think they'll do enough to win this game pretty convincingly. Bengals, don't let me down. Next game we got is the Commanders at the Saints, and I have no expectations for the Saints in this game. I think the Commanders are going to win 27-13. Simply put, they're a good team, man. They're fighting for a wild card spot, making sure the Rams or the Seahawks, depending on the division standings, don't get this spot. They're going to keep it in their own grasp. And even though the Saints tend to play pretty good at home, I just can't believe this team, man. We're not a real team. No disrespect on Rizzy, but he's not a real coach, man. He's just filling in for the season. And I do believe after this loss, this will get the Saints eliminated from playoff contention. I mean, it'll be looked at as a disappointing season, but at the same time, if you've watched this team play, it's not a shocker. This team's just not good enough. So this should be a pretty easy win for the Commanders on this one. Next game we got is the Ravens at the Giants. If you're a New York Giants fan of any kind, you should probably skip this one. This game is not going to go well for you guys. The Ravens are going to win 35-9. For two reasons. One, the Ravens are a really good team and the Giants are trash. And two, the Ravens are desperately going to want revenge after the Giants beat them in 2022. It's just not going to go well for the Giants, man. The Ravens are fighting to take over their division, and the Giants are just basically out of it. They're fighting for the first overall pick. If you're a Giants fan of any kind, just skip this one and look for a better game this week. There will be a better one. Trust me. Next game we got is the Cowboys at the Panthers, and this is one I desperately hope I'm incorrect on. I desperately hope I'm wrong with this pick. I'm going to pick the Cowboys to win 24-21. I say that I'm desperately hoping that I'm wrong on this one, because how hilarious would this be if the Panthers beat the Cowboys this week? Like, that would be hysterical. So please, Carolina, please make it happen. Please prove me wrong. I would love to see it. I would have you guys' back for the rest of the season. Please make this happen. Next game we got is the Jets at the Jaguars, and if you guys are fans of any of these teams, just find a different game. This game's going to suck. The Jets are going to win 34-17. I mean, if you're a fan of the Jets, I guess you could watch this one just because I think the Jets are going to look a lot better than the Jaguars in this game, but they're both out of it. They're both out of the playoffs, so honestly, like, what's the point? Like, any other NFL fan, like, don't watch this game. It's going to be boring. But other than that, I think the Jets are going to look pretty good against the Jaguars, because even though the Jaguars have a pretty good defense, just this team's over, man. Like, Trevor Lawrence is probably not going to play for the rest of the year. Their offense is going to be terrible. Their defense is still good, but it's going to get gassed very quickly. And the thing that frustrates me more out of anything with Jacksonville is the fact that they have tons of like flaws that are so easy to fix, but they're just refusing to fix them. Like coaching. Like, their coaching is awful, and they haven't done a single thing to change it. Like, it's so frustrating to watch. So, yeah, I generally hope the Jets win this game. Even though I don't like the Jets, I just hope they win this, just to prove the Jaguars that they're stupid. Next game we got is the Dolphins at the Texans, and this is a very hard pick just because I can't trust the Texans anymore. It's the same thing as the Falcons and the Cardinals right now. Like, you can't trust this team for anything. Like, this team should not be anywhere near as struggling as they are, and they still are. But no matter, it's at Houston, so I think the Texans are gonna win this one 13-20. But if the Dolphins ended up winning this game, I would not be shocked at all. Like, in fantasy, I'm in my bye week. I have a bye week for playoffs, so I'm not gonna be too pissed that the Texans piss this one away. But still, it's just the fact that the Texans have a really good defense. I will say that. But their offense is so hit or miss, man. Like, their offensive line is awful. C.J. Stroud has been playing some of his worst football he's ever played. And Joe Mixon has been heavily carrying this team, man. Like, if Joe Mixon does not have a good rushing game, the Texans are going to struggle. Like, that's how it's going to be. So, yeah, I'll pick the Texans to win this game, but it's not going to be a fun one. Next game we got is the Colts at the Broncos. I've still got PTSD after the last time these two played each other, man. Like, remember that Thursday night game? That game was some of the worst football I think I've ever watched in my lifetime. And I sat through every minute of that, man. Like, I'm still having, like, migraines from that. Like, that was terrible. But I will look at this game with an open mind that both teams are different, like, from that time frame. Thank God, because both of those teams stunk. So I'm going to pick the Broncos to win this game 14-27. I think the Colts will do just a little bit to keep this game a little closer, but I just think the Broncos are a way better team. I think they have a way better defense, and I think their offense will do enough to win this game. But one fortunate thing is that this game will not be completely boring. Like, at least we can say that with positivity, I hope. Next game we got is a possible Super Bowl preview, the Bills at the Lions. Man, I really had to think of who I'm going to pick this one. So if you're any fan of this team, before I say my pick, please do not get upset with me. Like, this is just my prediction. I can see me being right, and I can also see myself being wrong. Like, this game's going to be extremely tough. It could possibly be a game of the week right here. But no matter, I'm going to roll with Buffalo. I think they're going to win 34-31. I know the Bills just came up with a loss last week against the Rams, who also played like a top team that week. But I just think the Bills will do just enough to win this game. Even though I think the Lions are still the best team in football, I just think the Bills will just get the upper hand on this one. But again, if I'm wrong about this one, like, I would not be shocked at all. Like, the Lions are an amazing team. Same with the Bills. I'm just going with my gut. But I will say, if we get the Super Bowl in the future, we are in for a hell of a game in the future, man. Watch us get Chiefs versus Eagles Super Bowl. Ugh. Next, we got another great game, the Steelers at the Eagles. This one was a really tough one as well, just because both teams are really good and both teams have very big, strong suits. Like, the Steelers' offense is still really good, but their defense is really what makes this team special. Like, their defense is phenomenal. And then you got the Eagles, where their defense is pretty good, but it's their offense that's really special, especially Saquon. Like, he's the best running back in football right now. So with that being said, both of these teams could win. I can see both of these teams winning this game. But since it's at Philadelphia, I'm going to roll with the Eagles to win this one 23-26. This is going to be another great game. Not as good as the other afternoon game I just went over like earlier, but I just think this game will be really good as well. So if you're anybody that has NFL Red Zone, like, this is going to be a great this is going to be a great day for you guys. Like, this is like, there's going to be a lot of good football to watch this week. So yeah, I'm going to pick the Eagles to win this one, and this is going to be a good game. Next game we got is the Patriots at the Cardinals. Well, we have some games like that can be amazing, and then we have games like this. The Patriots suck. They're out of the playoffs, and then you have the Cardinals, who were a good team, and now they're playing like a bottom team. Like, I don't know who to pick here. Well, I'm going to roll with Arizona to win this one 21-24. I just think the Cardinals are too good of a team to lose to the Patriots at this point, and it's at Arizona. So if they end up losing this game, I would be extremely shocked. But it's just not going to be a fun game to watch. It might be a close score looking at it, but it's just not going to be a fun game to watch. So do you guys self the favor and watch the Bills and Lions or the Steelers and Eagles? Like, don't bother watching this one. Next game we got is the Bucks at the Chargers. This is another great game. And I almost picked the Chargers to win this game, but I'm going to pick Tampa to win this game 26-24. The Bucks are another team that are fighting for their lives to like try to go for that last playoff spot, and the Chargers are looking like they're going to make the playoffs no matter what, even unless they like lose out, which I don't think they'll do. I think this is going to be a really close game, but I think the Bucks will do just enough to win this one, and this is going to be another great game too. So again, if you have Red Zone, there's going to be a lot of good football to watch, so you're in for a treat. Next game we got is Sunday Night Football. We've got the Packers at the Seahawks. This is going to be another great game, but I'm going to pick the Packers to win this one 34-30. I think this is going to be a really high-scoring game. I think it's going to be a really close game. And I almost picked the upset with the Seahawks because it was at Seattle. But I just think the Packers are playing some of their best football right now, and I think they will do enough to win this game. This is going to be a really great game, especially for fantasy. But I just think the Packers are just a little bit better of a team, and I do think they will win this game. Next game we got is Monday Night Football. Well, actually, we have 2 Monday Night Football games this week. I don't know why. But we've got the Bears at the Vikings. I guess we had to make some sacrifices to where we had some amazing afternoon games and an amazing Sunday night game to have really shitty Monday night games. So, yeah, the first one we've got is the Bears and the Vikings. I'm going to easily pick the Vikings to win this one 10-33. The Bears versus the Niners game last week showed me one thing about the Bears is that they're absolutely dead. Like, they're just looking forward to next season. They're looking forward to having another great, overall pick in the draft. And they're going to try to build to be really strong next season, man. Like, this season was just not it for them. And then you got the Vikings, who have been playing some amazing football lately. And it's at Minnesota again. So I think the Vikings will win this one very easily. And then the last game we got is the second Monday Night Football game. We've got the Falcons at the Raiders. Like, seriously, this is what you guys picked for a Monday night game? Like, this game's going to be atrocious. But I will say one thing. Atlanta, if you guys are somewhat of a real team, you guys will beat up this team very well. Like, if you are a real team, you guys are going to win this game 37-12. Like, come on, man. The Raiders are one of the worst teams in football. Tied for the worst team in football right now. Beat up these bums, please. Like, if you're anything of a legit team, you will win this game. Like, there's no excuses for this one, Atlanta. Like, if you guys look, I already know Kirk's going to struggle a little bit just because that's how he's been all season. But if you guys look anywhere near as bad as you did last week, like, it's going to look extremely embarrassing. So, Atlanta, get it done. And there you guys have it. Those were my Week 15 NFL predictions. These games are really hard to pick just because there's so many great games. So, hopefully I get this one right. I will feel ecstatic if I get a good record in this week. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, turn on notification bells so you miss any of my videos whenever I post. With all that said, I'm Logan Sharon. I'll see you next time.